Hey, party people. Welcome to your May energy forecast with your host, me, Emily the Mystic. I'm so excited to get into the details of the new month ahead, the month of May 2024. I don't know about you, but I'm over eclipse season. I'm over Mercury retrograde. I'm like so ready to move on. I'm so ready for a fresh new energy, and we're really going to be getting that this month. So I can't wait to get into it with you. As always, for these energy forecasts, I channel the specific energies through the Akashic Records, where I ask my team of guides, what do we need to know? What does my audience, what does the collective need to know about what to anticipate for the month ahead? And they give me some of the main themes and things to look out for, so that you can best make the most out of the energy during the month ahead and perhaps maybe take different action than you normally would, or perhaps use the energy to your advantage to, again, make the most out of what we've got during this month. As always, take what resonates with you from these channeled energy updates and leave the rest. I do have some tarot cards here that I pulled that really sort of emphasize some of the themes that were coming up for me as I was channeling. A lot of this today, too, is going to be a bit more live channeled than normal. Sometimes I sit down for a bit ahead of time, take notes, have a conversation. Today I'm feeling more called to do this a bit more intuitively, live in the moment. So we'll see, you and me together, what comes through during this forecast. I'm really excited. I feel like we moved through a lot during the month of April. You may be feeling the same way as me. I know that this eclipse season really brought about a lot of inner work, a lot of perhaps shadow work or healing work that maybe you embarked on in your life, or maybe you didn't. Maybe, you avoided the intensity of the eclipse. And perhaps you may even have been affected by Mercury retrograde in perhaps a way that felt challenging or uncomfortable. What I really just want to say is that the energy this month was really potent and intense and pretty transformative from what I'm hearing from most people, myself included. And May is going to give us a bit of an integration break, an opportunity to really ground into some of the shifts that we felt during the month of April and to feel a little bit more stable, safe, secure in what our reality looks like, and to be more present. I feel like this month is going to give us the opportunity to be a bit more present. So we had 2 eclipses during the March through April timeframe. Again, we also had Mercury retrograde. So there was just a lot going on energetically. And depending on you and what's going on in your life, you may have felt, like I was saying before, those energies move through your life a bit differently. Regardless of how the level of intensity was for you, I want to say that you are not the same person that you were listening to the April energy forecast that you are today listening to this May forecast. I know I'm definitely not. I know that I really did a lot of deep inner work this month, really went into the depths of my unconscious and subconscious mind to do some digging, to do some shadow work. I really met a lot of parts of myself with love and compassion that I didn't know or didn't have the awareness that needed that love and compassion. And I feel like from moving through that, I'm ready to go from feeling very introverted. The energy in April was very introverted. And to take that a bit more external, a bit more outwards, be a bit more extroverted in terms of the way that I approach my own life, and perhaps maybe for you too, if you really felt the call to go inwards during the month of April, it may have felt a bit like a second winter to you. I mean, depending on where you are in the world. For me, I'm in the United States, so we're in the spring season. But even with the spring equinox shift during the month of March, I still felt like I had a lot of inner work to do, a lot of hibernating to do in order for me to be able to shift and transform into perhaps my butterfly self, my, the next version of me that is being cooked and simmered at this moment in time. So she's getting ready to come out. And with all of that being said, I want to say yes. We first here for our first tarot card of this energy forecast, we've got this Three of Pentacles. This is a very community-oriented, collaboration, partnership, and group-oriented card. So I want to say that if you felt the need to go inwards and focus really on yourself or maybe in your intimate relationships during the month of April, May is going to give you the opportunity to work with different groups, be with different energies, be with different kinds of people. You may have felt a little bit sort of stuck and stifled by being in relationship with certain people or certain friendships, certain business relationships. Maybe you let a lot of stuff go during the month of April. You said goodbye to some things, or you said no to some opportunities that you knew weren't for your best good, you knew weren't aligned. And I feel like there's going to be some new, fresh energy, new people coming in. For those of you who have businesses, those could be business collaborations, partnerships, opportunities in that realm. They could even be new clients, so fresh client energy. For those of you who don't have a business, you may just be looking at spending time with new friendships, new groups of people, new communities, maybe even in your local community. So I want you to be open to those opportunities when it comes to getting out of your shell and bringing the internal work that you've been doing outwards. It's also going to feel like a very sort of chatty month because the planet Venus is moving into the sign of Gemini during the month of May. And Gemini is a super chatty, super curious energy. When I think of Gemini energy, I think about really fast, fun conversations with a friend that has a way to we can really mentally stimulate each other. We can really talk about things in a lot of depth. And you may really notice that too this month. There's just like a lot of conversation. There's a lot of chatty energy, socializing, again, kind of getting out of your shell a little bit. So there may be a lot of opportunities coming in for some of you, I want to say. And you need to do your best to be discerning with those opportunities. Don't just take every single opportunity that comes your way because it's an opportunity, but be really discerning with your intuition and listen to your body. Does this opportunity feel good to you or not? Does this social event, does this collaboration, friendship, etc., does this feel good to you or not? And if it doesn't, saying no to those things, of course. But I really feel like things are going to start to pick up in that way. The energy that I was really feeling when I began to tune into this month was really focused on a bit of momentum and forward moving energy. I saw immediately the Eight of Wands, and then I pulled my cards, and of course, I have the Eight of Wands here. So this card is forward motion. We are taking action. We are moving. Things are starting to shift faster than they did during the month of April. I mean, we had this Mercury retrograde, which maybe slowed you down or made you feel like you had to wait or slow down and not take action on things maybe as quickly as you're used to. So things are going to start to move, which is going to feel really good. I know a lot of you have been waiting for that. So be open to the movement, be open to the momentum. If you listen to the April energy forecast, I spoke a lot about commitment and consistency during the month of April, that no matter what, you are committed to your path, no matter what happens in the world. And if you've been doing that, if you've been paying attention to what your intuition's calling you to do, this month is going to give you that needed lift to see things unfold more quickly. So if you've seen a project come to a standstill, or you've seen something that you've been wanting to take action on just hasn't felt like the right time, or maybe you didn't want to sign the contract because we were in Mercury retrograde, or whatever it is that you had to put aside or put pause on for a moment, it's no longer time to halt the brakes. It's time to move. It's time to start to take action and again start to see things move a little bit more quickly, which is going to feel really great. I want to say that there's a lot in store for us this month, and I would encourage you to go into the month of May with the intention of surprises and miracles. So, with that being said, there are some really powerful alignments astrologically that are happening this month that are going to create this frequency of abundance, this miracle sort of energy. And let's make the collective agreement right now. If you're in, you can say yes energetically if it feels good to you. We can set the intention to go into the month of May with this sort of full speed ahead, miracles, magic, momentum energy, allowing the universe to really surprise and delight you this month. So if you would like for the universe to surprise and delight you with magic and miracles during the month of May, I love that. That sounds so good, right? I want you to just take a moment, put your hands on your heart, and say yes. And perhaps maybe writing down that affirmation that I just said out loud, maybe writing that down on a piece of paper in your journal, on a Post-it note that you put on your mirror. So magic and miracles during the month of May. Let's go all in on that. Being open to the unexpected. And the guides were telling me at the beginning of this, they were saying, expect the unexpected, but in a good way. That the universe wants to surprise and delight us with opportunities and again, miracles during this month, but we have to be open to them. So if we got our head down and we're focusing on our day-to-day work and our routine, and we may miss the little miracles, the little things like getting the parking spot right out front of your apartment. If you live in a city like I do, which to me is a miracle, or maybe your plant that you thought had died suddenly comes back to life and starts flowering again, or you get a free treat at a local coffee shop, or let's say you're out to dinner with a friend and you just bump into somebody that you haven't seen in a long time and it's like this beautiful homecoming. There can be so many ways that the universe wants to surprise and delight us this month, and I really feel like being in that energy of surprise, delight, magic, miracles during the month of May will really carry us far. But we have to make that shift. We have to be open to it, and we have to be open to that in general. So don't be shut down or closed off or resistant, because the universe can't surprise and delight you if you're in the energy of resistance. So with that in mind, I have the 10 of Cups here. What a good card. This is so exciting. When I pulled this, I was like, hell yeah, I'm so in for this energy this month. And with that being said, there's a really powerful energetic alignment happening between the Sun and Jupiter in the sign of Taurus on May 18th. So we are in the midst of Taurus season. The planet Jupiter has been in Taurus for a while now, and it's sort of last hurrah in the sign of Taurus before it moves into Gemini at the end of the month is this beautiful alignment between the Sun and Jupiter that's happening on May 18th. So there's a lot of positive energy around that day. Very lucky day. You may want to start on your calendar. Maybe you want to set the intention that that's going to be a day that you tap back into your manifestation list, or maybe you could do something. I have a dream jar in my bedroom that I put on my bookcase. It is a jar that has meaningful crystals and trinkets in it, crystals that represent wealth, like pyrite and citrine. I also have some family heirloom. I have a $5 bill that's really, really, really old that I would never, ever want to get rid of. So I've got that in there. I've got some feathers in there that are meaningful to me. And then I took some time to write down all of my desires and put them on pieces of paper and put them in this jar. And I have that in the far left corner of my house, which is supposed to be the abundance corner in terms of feng shui. So that can be a little practice that you do. You don't have to do that on May 18th. You absolutely can, but that may be something that you want to do this month. as you sort of reconnect with your desires, your manifestations. Again, we've got this like really fulfilling, coming to completion, finding the gold at the end of the rainbow sort of energy this month. So there are going to be a lot of good things happening. For some of you who have felt like you've really been through the ringer with eclipse season, you may start to find yourself again. You may start to feel like yourself again. Things may start to work out for you. And if you are, it's so hard because I know that you may be feeling just sort of like this. If you've been in that space for a while now, where you've sort of felt victimized in a way by your circumstances, trust me, I've been there. We've all been there. We're all human. It may be time to really close the door on that energy and say, you know what? I'm tired of being in this sort of, woe is me, life is hard, life is challenging, things don't work out for me sort of energy. I'm going to close the door on that, but I'm going to open the door to a different choice for myself. And I'm going to open the door to be more open to life this month and be more open to the magic and miracles and abundance that want to come my way this month. And that's a choice. It's a choice you have to make. It's a choice to be in that energy. It's not easy because it can leave you open and vulnerable to getting hurt, but a reminder that you are an energetic being living in a vibrational reality. You are creating your reality all of the time. And the more that you are intentionally in that magic and miracles energy that we were just speaking about, it's an inside job. The more you're internally connecting with that, the more you're going to start to see that reflected in the world around you. So, with that being said, be open to surprises, be open to the unexpected, and let's see what happens this month. Now, the guides also want to show you, we have also an Ace of Pentacles here. Many of you may be getting inspired this month. They kept saying the word inspiration to me. Inspiration, inspiration, inspiration. So for some of you, you may be inspired with a new idea, a new download. Maybe that's for a new thing that you're working on, new project, program, body of work. Maybe it's a new collaboration you're working with or on in your job. Maybe you're inspired to start a podcast. There's so many things, so many possibilities. So be open to these new pieces of inspiration that come through for you this month. And let them really simmer. Let yourself sit with them. And if it feels right, taking action on them, or perhaps starting to create a plan for yourself for the summer months of having some of these things that you're going to be working on during the course of the summer. So be open to that inspiration. And I love this Ace of Pentacles card. I'm showing this for those of you who are watching on YouTube. There's this beautiful little pathway on the card that's leading into this garden. And this is the energy of opening new doors. So let the divine inspire you this month with new ideas that could lead to you opening a whole new door into something else. For some of you, I want to say, I also have the Four of Swords here. This is a card of rest, recuperation. Some of you may be feeling really burnt out by eclipse season. Again, it's going to be a month of integration. So be really present with your body and continue to take that time to rest and recuperate if you need it. Again, don't stay in the I'm a victim of my circumstances energy. In order to shift that, you can rest. You can give yourself the time, take the day off, maybe take off for the long weekend over Memorial Day, or go away for a little surprise trip. The energy in May is perfect for that. Do what you can to revitalize yourself. I know for me, what's really helping right now as I'm integrating this eclipse energy is spending more time outside, out of the house. I live in the city, so it's not always the most possible, easy thing for me to do here. I don't have a backyard. So on the weekends, I really make an effort to either spend time with my family, my partner's family, who both have great access to the outdoors, or to get out of the city, get to a park, get to a garden or something outside where I can be really connected to nature. Sun on my face, that really helps me feel good. So that may help you feel more grounded. Also, exercise is a really great way to help move energy in the body, to detox, to let go, and again, to help some of these things that you've been through during the month of April really integrate into your awareness. So, with all that being said, I want to share with you a couple of things, a couple of red flags during the month of May. There aren't a lot here, but just some things to sort of be cautious of. Number one, we have a big planetary shift that's happening during the month of May when Pluto goes retrograde at the very beginning of the month on May 2nd. Now, Pluto is a very collective planet, so this may not land for you personally in your own life. This may be an energy that you see sort of going on in the world, and that's really, as I'm tuning into it, that's what I'm being shown. Because Pluto is moving backwards, technically, it's in retrograde. It's moving back into the sign of Capricorn, where it has been for, I think, like the last 15 years. It's been in Capricorn for a long time. It has been in Aquarius for a couple of months now, since the beginning of January. I talked a lot about this during the January energy update, and I think even the February energy update. So because it's moving back into Capricorn, we're going to be revisiting things from the past in terms of the effect that Pluto in the sign of Capricorn has had on our collective as a whole. In that vein, I really do feel like we're going to be seeing in the headlines this month a lot of news related to the economy, money, finances. I don't know specifically what that's going to look like, but because our world has been through such a big economic shift since Pluto has been in Capricorn, I really feel like that is going to take precedence in terms of what we're going to be talking about. And I know for us here in the United States, we've got the midterm elections this month. I feel like the economy is going to be a big sticking point there, a big thing that a lot of people are going to be talking about. Now, if you live in a different country, if you're somewhere else in the world, your country's economy may not take center stage. I really feel like this is more of a United States thing. But our economics in the world are so connected that you may just start to see, repercussions in terms of what your own country's going through as a result of what the United States is navigating. So again, just be open to seeing just some of these sort of lessons around the economy, finances, that we learned while Pluto was in Capricorn for the last 15 years and are now, again, we're going back to that old energy for a little bit of time to make sure as a collective we've finally learned our lessons and we're ready for this new age, the age of Aquarius that's happening. So if this does land in your personal life, there may be some themes that pop up again, some old patterns for you to revisit that played in the arena or were center stage for you in your life over the last 15 years. I know that's a big span of time. So it may not be the smallest little pattern, the smallest little slight thing, but it could be something pretty major for you in your life that gets revisited before Pluto is out of Capricorn and into Aquarius forever, right? And that, I believe, is happening at the end of the summer, sometime early in the fall. So this is going to be something we're going through for the next couple of months. So again, just pay attention to the headlines and see what those collective conversations are, because there could be some things there that are brought up that remind us of this journey that we've been on. I want to say since the 2008 economic collapse, that there have been a journey of how the economy has shifted so much since then. We may be revisiting some of those old lessons again this month. I'm not saying that there's going to be some crazy economic slowdown. That's not what I'm saying at all. It's just more so we've learned a lot about that, about the economy since that time, even though the economy obviously isn't perfect, and I'm by no means an economist at all. I'm simply just tuning into the energy, and it feels very financial in nature, but there's something there for us in terms of we need to revisit the past before we can move forward into the future. The other red flag that I'm being shown for this month, we have the Seven of Swords, to me, which is the card of deceit and betrayal. We also have this Hierophant card, and we have this Six of Pentacles. All of these cards came out together. To me, this tells a story. This tells a story of perhaps deceitfulness, manipulation, shadowy energy when it comes to the spiritual community. I want to say that there are going to be some people that are brought to light this month, and not just this month, a lot of the coming months and years ahead. I think this is a big theme. I feel like for you in your personal life, there may be people that you really looked up to, perhaps people with a big following, major media presence, especially in the spiritual space or in, health and wellness, who may not be who they say they are, who may change their tone, or whom you may start to notice that they're shifting their messaging, shifting their languaging, and all of a sudden you're like, wait a second, this doesn't resonate with me at all. Or, whoa, that's so weird that that person decided to do that all of a sudden. Or all of a sudden I listened to this person's podcast for the first time in a couple months and I am not digging their new vibe. I'm not digging the new energy. I just want you to use your discernment this month when it comes to whose energy you are tuning into, because your frequency is being affected by everybody else's frequency, myself included. I'm honored that you're listening to my podcast right now because you're tuning into my energy. It means you trust me, right? And I do not take that lightly. I hold myself in high integrity as a spiritual mentor, intuitive teacher, etc. And I value you. I want you to feel safe in my spaces. And I am sharing this to you as a bit of a red flag that there are people out there that do not hold integrity as a value, that do not always have your highest and best interests in mind. And perhaps their intentions, we always want to look at someone's intentions, perhaps their intentions are to make a profit. We were just talking about money and the economy, right? So there may be some people out there that are simply out here to, build a 7-figure business, not naming names. I'm sure a lot of you are kind of picking up on what I'm saying here, that there are people out there that in the spiritual space who are here for the profit and not for the service, and not here to serve the collective. And I want you to be aware of those who are operating from ego and who are not operating from the heart space. And don't doubt yourself, because you may see someone put up a piece of content and you're like, whoa, this is strange, or what is this person trying to say? And you get confused. And you may even notice when you watch people's videos that there's sort of like a weird energy, or you just can't connect with it, or it just feels off. Trust yourself, trust your gut, trust your intuition, before you invest in that person's, time, mentorship, etc., whatever it is. Just be really cautious, because, and for some of you, the veil may start to drop on some of the people you've worked with in the past. You may be shown that they're not a good fit for you anymore, or that maybe their intentions are not what you thought, or they've got other, and maybe it's even more so less of the deceitful energy and more of this person's just not in alignment for me anymore. I've outgrown them, just not a good fit. Maybe they're focusing on other things that's less of a priority for me. So just be aware of that, be open to that. And as soon as your intuition tells you something, trust it, listen to it. Okay? We'll sort of see how that pans out during this month. But proceed with caution when it comes to whose energy, again, you're tuning into, because you are being affected by all of the podcasts you listen to, all the TV shows you watch, everything that you connect with energetically. And you may need a little bit of a break. You may need a little bit of a, time to focus on yourself. I know for me, I went through a phase for a while where I wasn't listening to anybody else's podcasts, mainly because I didn't want my work to be influenced by anyone else. I also didn't want my podcast to be influenced by anyone else's energy. So, what you're listening to now, I don't listen to other people's energy updates or forecasts or anything. It's all purely coming from me and my channel. And I had to go on that journey. I listened to other people's podcasts for hours and hours and hours for a long time. And now I'm sort of starting to get back into one or maybe two podcasts with people who I really trust, who I really feel like they have the highest and purest intentions. And knowing that I'm tuning into that from a space of, okay, wanting to expand my own consciousness and not from a place of wanting to distract myself or, distract from my own internal workings, my own channel. So again, be just really cautious and discerning with the energy that you're tuning into during this month. Now, I want to stop there with some of the, heavier messages to say that there's a lot of good stuff that's happening for us this month. A lot of opportunities for growth, a lot of opportunities for integration, a lot of opportunities for movement, which I feel like a lot of us need. And this month has two really beautiful, the moon, there's a beautiful new moon this month and a beautiful full moon this month that are really going to help us with that journey. We have a new moon in Taurus happening on May 8th and a full moon in Sagittarius happening on May 23rd. This beautiful, luxurious, Taurian, grounded energy is helping us with the manifestation piece. And this expansive, travel-oriented, higher education, higher-minded learning Sagittarian energy is helping us really see into the future and helping us see perhaps places we need to travel to or those opportunities, those collaborations, those connections I was mentioning at the beginning, seeing how those could really start to take shape this month. So this month is really ripe for all of those things that I have mentioned. So enjoy it. It's a juicy energy. I feel like that's going to provide some much needed sustenance after perhaps a very intensive eclipse portal energy that we just went through during the month of April. So I hope you enjoyed this energy forecast. If it resonated with you, please let me know. Tag me in your stories on Instagram or comment below on my YouTube channel and let me know what resonated with you. If you are desiring to connect more deeply with me, be in my energy a bit more, I would love to share with you a few ways that you can do that this month. So I have both my light language mentorship and my Akashic Records certification that are starting later this month. I may or may not have announced the dates as of the time that this is being released, so check my Instagram and my website for all of the updated information about that. Both mentorships are going to really help you with this forward momentum and movement process of really aligning you to your highest vibration. I also have a retreat that's happening during the month of June. Again, check my website, check my Instagram for all updates on this. If the retreat is not full as of the time I'm recording this video, there will still be spots available for you to join our incredible summer solstice weekend during the month of June in Asheville, North Carolina, which is a really powerful, spiritually open place that I've been wanting to travel to for a while now, and I'm really excited to have the opportunity to meet there with like-minded women, connect to the fairies, connect to our inner child, do lots of activities, crafts, hiking, wellness, get into the hot springs, explore downtown Asheville, play games, make crafts, do so many cool things together. So if that appeals to you, I will leave the information below in the show notes for all of my mentorship offerings, including the retreat. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for listening to this energy forecast. Again, remember, Expect the unexpected during the month of May and be open to being surprised and delighted by the universe. Magic and miracles are awaiting you this month. Go off and enjoy, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye for now.